proofing language. So to set the proofing language of the whole document to South African, we can first of all, let's open up the document called venues, because that's the one that we are busy with right now. Let's open up the document venues so that we can actually do what is required. So I'm just going to maximize this. Right, so when we go to the document, in order to set the language, we can simply go down here to the proofing language, and then you will see that South African English has already been inserted there. So you can just select it by clicking on OK. Now my proofing language is set to South African English, and I have my first mark. Right. So let's go to the next one. The next one says replace the image on the cover page to one France image. Alright, so first of all, we cannot just insert the picture, we need to replace the picture on the cover page. So, like we learned in class, to replace a picture, I first need to select the picture. Then I have my picture tools here, so I can go to the picture format tab. Right, so in order to replace this, I have this option here that says change picture, and I can select it from this device. So when I select it from my device over here, I can just go to my location of my documents. Now my documents are on the desktop, so I can just go to my documents right there, and I can replace it with France. Right, so if I insert the picture, I have to note that this is still at 15.94 centimeters, and this is at 6.74 centimeters. Otherwise, it has not been replaced, it has been inserted. The second one is we need to sharpen the picture. Right, we need to sharpen the picture by 50% over here. Right, so let's make sure, let's just delete that. We need to make sure that we sharpen the picture by 50%, and we also need to ensure that the color saturation is at 200%. So with my picture selected, I just want to go to the color correction right here. Here we have sharpen and soften, and we want to click sharpen by 50%, and we want to change the color to 200% saturation. Alright, so if you look at this, it shows you a little pop-up there to show you the saturation, and that means that I had to change the saturation of the document to the specific settings. Then the next thing that we need to do is we also need to make sure that we insert the text below. So as you can see, the text over here is a little bit unclear, so we just wrote it in. It's Rugby World Cup France. So right here in my document, I am going to type in the document title. Right, so I can just clear that, and I can type in France, Rugby World Cup dash France. Right, so that is basically it for our cover page, and that is what we needed to do in order to get our marks. Then the next thing we need to do is, first of all, we need to find the heading table of content, and we need to insert an automatic table of content. To insert an automatic table of content, we have to go to the References tab. Go to the References tab, and you will see that we have an automatic table of content right here. So let me just scroll to the correct place. Alright, so here's our heading, table of content, because the question says go to table of content, locate this text, and we can insert an automatic table of content right here. Now it didn't matter which one you chose, we just had to insert a table of content right here. Now as you can see, when we look at this, it says we have to make sure that select hose, France, Bordeaux, all of these have to be inserted as well, but currently they are not showing. So in order to show them, I actually need to go and I need to make sure that everything all of them that I want to insert has been selected, and I need to make sure that they are set to heading 1s. And you see this little gap right here on the side, that means that they are not heading 1s, but they are actually heading 2s. So let's look for all of those. So the next one we have here is France. So we select France, and France will be a heading style 1. Then we have number 2, which will be a heading style 2. And we have Lowell, which will also be a heading style 2. Then after Lowell, we have Lyon, which will be a heading style 2. Let's just check what the other ones are. So we have Lyon, then Marseille. So there it is, Marseille. We make it a heading style 2. Nantes, we make it a heading style 2. We have Nice, which is a heading style 2. We have Saint Denis, which is a heading style 2. Then we have Saint Etienne. Right, so let's go to Saint Etienne, heading style 2. And the final one is Toulouse, heading style 2. So if we look at our little picture right here, we can see that we have selected all of the necessary headings, and now what we need to do is we need to go and we actually need to update the table of contents. So we have to scroll all the way to the top. Now if we click on update table of content, we can see that it has all of the different ones that I require. So I have all of this over here, plus I have the time and I have the dates and the page numbers there correctly as well. Alright, so let's go to the next one. Have here is that we have to find a heading overview and apply an expanded character spacing of 7 point, and then raise the position of the heading by 7 points. Right, so let's first go to and find the overview. So here is overview. Remember, to make a change to a selected word, first we have to select the word. Then we want to go here to the basement button of paragraph, and then you won't find anything over here to do. We want to go to the advanced tab. In the advanced tab, we want to change the spacing. So let's see, we want to change the spacing to expanded. Alright, so let's change the spacing to expanded and expanded to 7 points. Alright, so let's just type in there 7, and we can see that it is now expanded. But we are not done. We still need to change the position to a raised position, and that also has to be a 7 point. So now when we look at the text, we will see that the changes has taken place. It is an expanded over here, and it has been raised, fulfilling the need of our question. Right, so let's go here to question 1.5. Right, so question 1.5 over here says modify the rugby 2 heading and follows. The font color must be 1 shade lighter as the rugby 1 heading 1 style shade. So let's just see what is the shade of the rugby 1. Right, so let's just undo that, and to see, we can just go and modify this. Alright, so to modify this, we see that the rugby style shade here is, over here it is blue accent 5, 50% darker. So we need to change it to blue accent 5, 25% darker. Alright, so now let's just read the rest of the question. Okay, we also need to change the character size to 16 point and display everything as a small cap. So let's quickly see how we can do that. We need to change the rugby. So, alright, so we need to go to the rugby one. We need to change the color. Remember, the color on heading style 1 is blue accent 5, 50% darker. So we need to change it one shade lighter. So we're going to go darker times 25%. We need to change the font size to 16 over here. over to 16 over here, and then we need to change the font over here. Remember, we are still in advanced because we changed the overview, but if we go to the font tab right here, we select small caps, which will make everything small caps. Here's a little preview, and then we can click on OK, OK, and we can see that the rugby has now been modified to the selected font. Right, so let's go to the next one. Find the word rugby in the first paragraph and apply a drop gap feature. Right, the first letter must appear over all the lines in the paragraph, and then it must have a spacing of 0.3 centimeters. All right, so let's quickly see where the R for rugby is. So first of all, we need to select the rugby over here. Alright, so if I just scroll in a little here, we need to select the R. Very simply, you can just select the R right there. Then in order to do that, we need to go to the Insert tab, and in the Insert tab, we go to the text group and we have to apply a drop gap. But then we want to apply a little bit of a modified drop gap, so we're just going to click on the options over here. So if we can count 1, 2, 3, 4. We can count 4 lines over here. So if we insert a drop gap, we have to make sure that it is 4 over there, and we want it at 0.3 centimeters distance. So we can just click on OK. Right, so I just need to make sure I do it correctly. 0.4. Right, 0.3, and I can click OK, and now we can see. Alright, if we look carefully here, if we apply it to 0.4, it actually is not over all lines in the paragraph. So we actually need to go and we need to modify this and make sure that we put it over 5 lines so it goes all the way. And that was actually one of the main reasons why some of you lost your marks, because you didn't put it over all the lines, you just put it over the first 4. Right. Then the next question we have is find the word council and insert a footnote with the webbings symbol code character 37. Right, so in order to do that, let's just scroll to the word council. We're going to double click it to select the entire word. Right, to select the entire word, just double click. Then we're going to go to the insert, we're going to go to the references tab over here, and we want to insert a footnote. Alright, so we want to insert a footnote over here, but we're going to insert a custom footnote. Right, so my custom footnote right there. So what I want to do is I want to insert a little symbol, and my symbol we said is webdings. Right, character code 37 and character code 37 over here. Right, 37, character code 37. So if I just type in here over in the character code and my font style, I can see that it is webdings over there. So now I have a special style over here, so I can just click on insert. Right, so now I have the footnote over here, but I'm not done with this question. I still have a few extra things to do. So I need to, first of all, I need to make sure that I put the date on 15 November 2017 down here in the footnote. So I'm going to type in here on, what is that date? Let's just see, on 15 November 2017, and I also need to display the footnote in 2 columns. Alright, so to apply this, I need to go back up here to my footnote. If I click on my footnote and I just modify it a little, I can see that I can change it to columns. I can change my footnotes down here to columns. I'm going to click apply, and I will now see that my footnotes in column 1 and in column 2, and that's where you got all of your marks. Right, then the next one is find the text France's main port and insert a cross-reference on the words so that it displays as in the screenshot. So we need to display the word below, and we also need to put the caption, which is the most important part of the entire reference. Alright, so let's just go down here. We want to do it over here, so we want to say first of all, what we need to do is we want to insert a caption on the picture. Insert a caption on the picture, and the caption should be photo by Agnes over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this. Then I'm going to say right click and cut. Click on the picture, insert caption, and I'm going to paste the caption right there. Right. So what I need to do now is I can just click on OK. Then I can see that I have my caption over here. Now I need to go back up here to my text. I want to insert a cross reference. Right here is cross reference. Right, but I want to insert a cross reference of I want to insert of a figure. Alright, so if you insert a cross reference of a figure, we want here to be figure number 4. So we're going to select figure number 4, and then we want to say what label. We want to apply the above and below label, and when I click on insert, now you will see that the word changes to below. And if I just hold on control and I click on it, it will automatically scroll down there, which means that my reference is now 100% complete and correct. Right. So the next question is right here. Oh, and then the final thing that we actually also need to do that I almost forgot is we need to change the design over here to fit the design of the entire of the other pictures. Now there's a simple way to do this that will save you lots of time and effort. If we click on a picture that has already been formatted, you'll see all of these pictures have been formatted already. So if I just click on this and I go to the Home tab, and I select Format Painter over here. Alright, I just select Format Painter over there. You can see that it is selected. And I go and I click on this picture right now. Boom! You will see that my picture is now formatted in the correct way. So now I just need to see what the size is. So the size of this is 5 by 8. So I can just go and I can change this to 5 by 8. So if I say this 5 centimeters and I say this to 8 centimeters, I can now say, all right, great, it is exactly the same as the rest, and it looks the same as the example. Right, so let's move on to the next question. Right, so first of all, we need to we need to find the text source and do the following. Create a new source called report and title it to Spotlight. Right, so first of all, let's find the word resource. According to me, it is highlighted in blue. There it is, source. All right, so I can just double click this to select. Right, so I'm just gonna select this text over here. Okay, then I'm gonna go to the references tab, and I want to insert a new source. You can also click here on manage source. So let's click on manage source. Right, we want to insert a new source. It has to be a report, and the name of the report, the title of the report, let's just see Spotlight on Saint Denis, Paris. Right, so we're gonna say Spotlight on Saint Denis, Paris. Right, so now I have created a new source over here. Okay, on Saint Denis Paris. Okay, I can click on OK, and you will now see that my source has been added. So I can just close this. Now I want to insert a new citation. Right, right. So now the next question, 1.9.2, insert a citation and place the word source with APA style. All right, now this is the important part. Most of you forgot to do this. I need to change the style to APA style. Right, so if I change the style to APA style, I can insert a citation and I can insert spotlight on Saint Denis Paris. Right, so that is how we insert a reference like that, and that is where you got your mark. Then we move on to 1.10, which says apply an automatic page number, center it at the bottom of the page. The page number must be displayed over 2 pages. The page number should start at number 1 on page 3. Display odd numbers only and use the tildes style. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to scroll up to page number 2. So this is the cover page, then we have page number 2. And I'm going to remove this page break over here. Right, and then I'm going to go to the layout, insert a new break, and I want to insert a section break. Right, so after inserting the section break, I just want to apply the simple, I want to insert a page number over here at the bottom, and I want to apply the tildes style. So we actually have a style called tildes over here, and if it loads I will be able to show you. The tilde style looks something a little bit like this. So we start on the cover page with the number 0, and then it says number 1, then number okay, there's a number 2, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to remove this on different first page. Okay, and then we're going to say on section 2 right here, first of all, we want to unlink this. We don't want it to link to the previous, so we're going to unlink it from the previous. We're going to say we want to format the page number right here. We want to start with the number 1, and we want to say OK. Right, so after we do that, alright, we can see it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Great. But there is still a number over here. So let's see what happens if we remove this number. Fantastic. There's a number there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. But now they say here we only want to display on odd page numbers only, so we can just go to select the odd page number there. Right, then my number for, right, then I think that is it. No page number over here, no page number over there. Then we start at number 1 right here, no number 2, which is perfect, number 3, no number 4, 5, no number 6, and then we end off with page number 7. Right, so the final thing that the instruction says is save and close the document. So we can simply go and save and close the document, and that is it